Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the 2-3 zone. Tony's Picks look at the WNBA, and we reached the finish line, at least in the regular season, with my partners here, Ron Crawford, Justin Stacks McKelvey. I was bittersweet yesterday and today and thinking it's all over, but Ron, you said we're going to stick around here for a few more weeks. We've got WNBA playoff action. And look, the scenarios have dwindled a little bit here. I don't know if it's too difficult, but I need a little help. But maybe you can tell me where we stand here in the postseason. And we had some great results there yesterday with our games, but maybe we should just go with catching up what the seeding scenarios are. We know the 8 teams, obviously, now after the results last on a Tuesday night with the Seattle Storm getting in. They won that game over the Valkyries by just 1 point. LA did a nice job, man. They really gave it their all and beat a Phoenix team that they probably resigned to where they were going to be. So give them credit, though, for the win. They finished strong, improved from last season, but we know the Storm is in there. But where are they going to play, Ron? Where are they going to finish?
Yeah, where are they going to finish? Well, it's probably going to be 8 more than likely, but I'll go through it. You want to grab a pen and paper, we can go through. We know the 1 seed is the Minnesota Lynx. We know 4 is Phoenix and 5 is the Liberty. Those are set in stone. What we don't know is the 2 seed. So looking at tonight's game, we have the Atlanta Dream playing Connecticut. If they were to win that game tonight, they can wait for the Aces. If the Aces were to lose to the LA Sparks, the Dream would get the number 2 seed. Otherwise, any loss by Atlanta or even a win by the Aces, they are locked in the 2. Going down to 6, 7, and 8, this is where it gets kind of tricky. So Golden State is the only one that has to play any games left, all right? So they are playing, of course, the Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota, we saw them rest everybody pretty much last night. If Golden State were to win that game, Indiana is 24-20, and Golden State would be 24-20. That would move the Valkyries up into the 6th spot. The Indiana Fever would fall to 7 in that for a final record of 24-20. If the Golden State Valkyries were to lose, they would be 23-21, and the Seattle Storm are done, and they are at 23-21. However, they hold that tiebreaker over Golden State. So the best Golden State could do is 6. The worst is 8. So you can either have a couple of different scenarios. Obviously, 2 and 3 is going to be Dream Aces, as I explained to you. But 6, 7, and 8 could be 6 Valkyries, Indiana 7, Storm 8. It could be 6 Indiana, Storm 7, or Golden State 8. There's your breakdown. Hope that helps you.
Right. It does. It makes it plain as day the way you could. Yeah. Basically, if I'm the Golden State Valkyries, I better beat Minnesota or I've got to play Minnesota again in the first round.
Beat Minnesota or play them again in a 3-game series.
The only question, and we'll get to the game certainly here, Justin, I guess the only question if I'm Minnesota here, right, is do I let the Valkyries, wink, wink, do I let them win so I can play them again in the first round? Although we know the Valkyries, they could do anything at any moment. I know Minnesota's been awesome. Or do we want to beat them so that, we can play them again or lose to them, and then we'll play a Seattle team that, Justin, I don't know. It feels to me like they were heading on the downswing going out. So maybe if I were the Lynx, I might want Seattle here. Maybe I have to go out and beat Minnesota. I'll let you comment on that, but we'll still cover the game later. You don't have to go into a break handicap. What do you?
Yeah, I'm not going to give away the pick, but if I was the Lynx, and I was the coach, I would rather play the Storm than the Valkyries.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
And they are at home, and it is, a last regular season home game. We'll get to it. Let's go ahead and break it down here.
You know what the funny thing is, Ramon?
Yeah.
The Valkyries won't be 7.
That's right. They can't finish.
They're sitting at 7 today, but they won't be tomorrow.
Right. So, and then again, they don't know obviously what would happen if they, get into that 6, because we don't know the 3 quite yet. But look, if the Dream win, and we know they should win that game, and still the Aces we'll talk about that game. They're still 11-point favorites. You got maybe Wilson gets in there and has to shore up her case for the MVP, but you don't want to get these players hurt either. That'll be part of your handicaps here, as we'll get into it here right away with our 4-pack of games. Let's do it. We won't rehash too much. I think that kind of sums it up. We don't have to worry necessarily about those. But yeah, you guys some nice picks there, certainly, with the games yesterday. You can kind of touch on those games because several of those teams are playing again here today. Let's just get right into it. These games are important. So, okay, Ron, first up, Phoenix will be on the road here at Dallas. Hey, sorry to burst your bubble, Ron, but this one doesn't have any bearing, I think, in the from what you just told me with what's going on. But Phoenix is on the road, only 3.5 at Dallas, 163. What does that tell you? What does that tell us? And
it tells us, it tells us they're in the 4 seed. Yeah, they're in the 4 seed, locked in. So it's 4 and 5, New York and Phoenix, or Phoenix and New York in that order. Phoenix is 3.5. That kind of tells you a lot. But again, no defense for Dallas. I think Paige Beckers lights it up. I think we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, give me the over 163.5. I think both get up and down. I don't know what Phoenix is going to do. We really don't know. I know they're getting ready for the Liberty, so definitely I'm going to go in the over and hope that Phoenix puts up some points.
Okay, Phoenix and Dallas game to go over there. Phoenix has locked it in there with a 3.5-point favorite there, Justin. It does look like, they'd be a double-digit favorite possibly if there was any motivation or any goals to achieve. So 163.5 here, Dallas playing their last game of the season. Hey, if anything, maybe Dallas wants to avoid that worst record. They could get a 10th win and maybe tie with Chicago, although Chicago's got 1 game left. Justin.
Yeah, as far as the teams that, in my opinion, that ain't really playing for nothing, can't move, or Dallas Wings teams that's not going to the playoffs, this was one of the easier games to cap. And I'm not going to be on the side of the total, but I'm going to look at the Wings. I'm going to do some more digging. But as far as my official play for the show, I got to go with Paige Beckers. Last game at home, like Ron said it. I'm glad that he threw me the alley-oop because I definitely went up to go get it. Paige Beckers, I think this is a nice spot for her. I'm going to look at her points. Anything closest to plus money, 16.5, 17.5. I can't see how she don't go for 20 last game, rookie of the year type shit, like fan appreciation. The fans love her. Y'all not playing for no. What else y'all playing for? Unless y'all care about as far as the worst team. But Paige, it's a bet that I'm gonna make after the show. I just got to dig into the odds, but it was easy for me. Paige Becker over her points. Anything you could get under minus 110, that's what I'll be on.
Yeah, it looks like 19.5 probably with Beckers here. She did have those 27. She poured in 27, remember, against the Valkyries last week. So, look, you don't want to end the season on an 11-game losing streak. And, Phoenix, no need. I think Dallas probably wins the game, quite frankly, here in this one. They're getting 3.5. You could take it plus 3.5. I think I'd probably play the money line in the game, but maybe officially, if you want to grab 3.5, I don't see any reason why Phoenix would be even fighting for a close game. They might have enough reserve talent to go out there and win, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I like Dallas to win this game and end that 10-game losing streak here with Phoenix, as Ron said, already clinching that playoff position. Justin says go Paige Beckers, and why not? I should have mentioned that too from Justin, because when you're trying to cap a rookie of the year, I imagine you might even go. Remember that a game where she poured in 44 points against LA? Something like that could happen here as well. I don't know about 44, but over 30 maybe here tonight in this one. And Ron says go over 163.5. Becker's leading the way maybe in that one. All right, let's get to another one where the Liberty here they are locked into their position. I promised that these guys will have some important picks. They're all important, but the Liberty are on the road here. Justin, 9-point favorite at Chicago. Chicago doesn't feel like quite the situation with Dallas here right now. They have lost 3 straight still. Liberty 9, 159.5. There's been some talk. I mean about how Chicago's even looked here down the stretch about really mailing it in and the personnel without Atkins and Reese in there and how it's gone. But what do the Liberty have to offer us? And this one is a 9-point favorite, Justin, 159.5.
Yeah, I think the Liberty had their, even though they didn't cover the full game, I think the Liberty had their feel-good stories last night when they played the Mystics. And I look at this Sky team, I feel like they just as dysfunctional as the Seattle Storm. Like Angel Reese came out and made them comments, and everybody giving her a lot of heat for it. But if you think about it, all Angel Reese said is all she says what we've been saying all year long. But one thing, this is the last game of the year, and it's almost the same story as the Dallas Wings. So my thing is, when I look at this game, a Liberty team who's definitely going to punt. They're not going to play the stars and run them into the ground. I expect the Chicago side at home, last game, come out here and throw the first punch. Like, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at the Liberty. Like, they're not playing for nothing but pride. So if women care about pride, I'm going to look at them first half. Give me the Sky first half. Come out here and throw the first punch. Best number you could get. And I'll let you know in the comments. I might sprinkle the first half money line because the Liberty team, like, its health was more important. And you got a dysfunctional team that this is your last chance to end the season on a high note. So give me the Chicago Sky first half. I'll take the shot for official play, Sky first half spread, but I might sprinkle.
Yeah, Ron, you heard him say maybe he said a little bit like Dallas's scenario. Even though Dallas has lost 10 straight, it just feels like at least some more positive vibes than what we've seen. We also saw some criticism come out about the organization being the worst run organization by an influential NBA front office expert, if you will. So we know that that's the kind of the problem here, it feels like right now. But can they muster up one effort here against the Liberty, who maybe this one could go down, I would imagine. But right now it's 9, just kind of playing off that downward trend with Chicago. Really some bad mojo to end the season.
Yeah, they got it right on the line. Actually, I had this capped at New York 12. And again, we don't know who's going to play for New York. No reason to get anybody hurt. They've been hurt all year. Maybe they can make another run through the playoffs now. But yeah, I'm looking at an 83-70. What do I have? 87-75. I think it goes just a tad over. It got it at 159 right now. I think we get to 162, 163. So give me the over.
Okay, Ron says go over in that one, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to hitch my wagon to the Sky, at least in this one, and take those points. And, I don't know if it's going to go down. I think there's just such a bad vibe with Chicago. They still may be getting 9, but let's see who really is out there for the Liberty here. Remember, they got to come all the way from that 5 seed. They'll have no home court advantage, at least in any series, to start those series should they win the first one or the second one there. So, we'll see. I'll take Chicago plus the 9. I will take Chicago, even though I'm talking bad about them here, plus 9 points in that one. We'll see who actually plays for Chicago, too. Maybe they'll be better off with the reserves in there. Ron says go over 159.5. Justin says take them in the first half. Take Chicago in the first half, right? Plus 5 or so in that one. Okay, now we know we're getting to the good ones here with Golden State on the road at Minnesota. Ron, I said it. Golden State taking on, if they win, they get to avoid Minnesota. Minnesota can maybe determine who they want to play, but still, I think they'll be in a mode where they're kind of conservative here too, right, Ron? I mean, this one tentatively opened 9, but it was never going to be 9 here right now. The Valkyries, we know, are still playing great, and like I said, Minnesota, having clinched that number 1 seed. What's going to happen here, Ron?
Yeah, they're playing for the 6th seed or the 8th seed. We don't know what's going to happen. A win or a loss. A win, they get the 6th seed over Indiana. and then a loss, they drop down all the way to the 8th. Like you said, you lose to play Minnesota. I don't think they want to do that. I think they want to give it all here, and we know what the Valkyries have done on the road all season long. They're just a great road dog. In fact, winning outright. I wouldn't mind sprinkling the money line in this one as well. But the 154, I think they're telling us that maybe you're not going to see a full lineup for Minnesota. But that backup for Minnesota, man, they're deep. They are deep. Even the reserves can score. And you're looking at what Golden State has done on the road, they're getting up in the 80s the last 5 games. I think it goes over. 154, maybe it seems like a trap line, really low, maybe for a reason, but I still think the reserves can get it done. We can see the reserves, Heineman and all those girls that come out, just Shepard and all the girls from Minnesota. I think it's going to be matter if they can score or not to get this thing over. But I got it capped at 163, so give me the over.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a big number there that you have it at. So, okay, Ron says go over in that one. Justin, you already kind of gave us what you thought about the focus of the Valkyries going and Minnesota going into this one. And do you back it up with your handicap here?
Yeah, I gave you a little hint when we did the little playoff breakdown. And whether it's about facing the Lynx or not wanting to face the Lynx, or if the Lynx care, for me, it's all about the Valkyries. I think they want to go into the playoffs strong. I don't think they want to go in limping. Not that they're going to play the starters full game, full force, but I'm looking at the Valkyries. And for me, it's just a matter if I'm going to sprinkle, but I'm going to be on the Valkyries full game spread. And I'm going to bet them, but I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait a little bit. I don't want to miss this line, but I don't know if it's going to grow or get down, but I like the Valkyries to cover the spread. I like the Valkyries to possibly win this game. They just seen this game, and it was like 78-72 Lynx. So that was in Golden State. So I expect it to be a close game. I expect the Valkyries to cover. So whether or not I sprinkle or not, matter of fact, this lane, any news could probably hurt me. So I'll probably bet this after this game, but I'll be on the Valkyries. That'll be my best bet for the show.
Okay, Justin says take Golden State here plus the 7 points against Minnesota, and I'll grab a Golden State in the first half here for sure.
Of course you will.
Why wouldn't?
Somebody's got to. It's the last show.
Last
show of the season. Somebody's got to get them.
Look, if my choice is to play here now, granted, we do know that if they don't win this game, they'll be playing either the Aces or the Dream. And look, we already know that you explained it just fine there. If the Dream win, it's still going to be up to the Aces and what they do, right? In that one, if the Aces lose, then the Dream can move up to number 3, but the Aces are big favorites in the next game. We'll mention that in just a moment. So you might wait before you get involved in the game and see what that scenario is. We don't have that luxury here, but I'm going to go with
in a couple hours what that scenario is.
The Valkyries here. I'll go Valkyries plus the points in the first half. Justin says take him in the full game as well. Feels like a game that's just going to be close in the end, actually. Ron says go over that low number, 154 here in this one. Minnesota did win all 3 in the regular season, but again, you mentioned that 78-72 game at Golden State there, Justin, and that was a push, I think, actually, or some people might have got the money there, but it did go just 150 points. But Ron says
I covered that by a hook.
I got plus 7 there, but 6.5 it was late in the day, and they lost. So yeah.
Okay. And Ron says go over 154 there, Justin, on the Valkyries, and I'm on the first half with the Valkyries. Okay, one more here to go, Justin, and it will be that other game that we're not assuming that your Dream will come out on top of after this show here tonight, but they are 2 touchdown favorites against Connecticut here tonight. So Vegas is an 11-point favorite on the road here at Las Vegas in this one. Total 168.5, and the situation will be as Ron said, should the Dream win tonight and they're favored, then it will be up to the Aces here. If the Dream win and the Aces lose, it's Dream 2, Aces 3, Ron said. So what's going to happen in this one will make you pick without knowing what happens in that other game.
You said me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
Justin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm on the Sparks. This was easy for me. This is the team that I think I'm pretty sure they're eliminated, but I don't think that's going to change anything. They always play this Aces team tough, and if anything, I know they're going to go out here. They know what's on the line for the Aces, just the same way we know. It's the last game in the home. It's a building spot, and whether they're playing for nothing or not, this is where we want them. Big dogs at the crib. Give me the Sparks to go ahead and mess up the Aces season. I'm not sprinkling, so don't get me wrong, but I need the Sparks to win this game. I don't think they're gonna win, but I think they're gonna come out here and fight hard. I expect them to come under this number. I expect by the time we wake up, the number probably gonna come down a little bit. Unless everybody gonna wake up and hammer the Aces because they ain't lost a game in years. So but I'm on the Sparks. I'm glad you said 11. I'm on the dead because I have my bet slip plus 10.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and line shop and try to get that 11, but I'm gonna be on the Sparks, 100%.
Yeah. In fact, Ron, we didn't kind of mention it there that the Aces could kind of pick and choose a little bit there at the end, right? If they know what's going on with that game tonight, and right, because they might look down there at the standings and decide, out of those two that. Should they know now? Granted, Golden State will be playing kind of at the same time there, so it might be difficult. But I don't know. They kind of could formulate their own positioning there with number 2 or number 3 there. But what do you think in this one with the 11-point spread?
I agree with Justin. Every single time that the Sparks, Hamby, and Kelsey Plum want to stick it to Becky Hammond. So yeah, definitely look at the Sparks in that way. We don't have Sparks at home as a favorite, so I ain't got to worry about that one. We know that doesn't happen. And they're a nice dog at home. But guess what? I told you guys again, they freaking got under that damn 173 the other night, 171. And I'm like, okay, now you're giving me a 167, 168. I'm going over. This is my shot. 16-7 to the over versus the division is the LA Sparks at home. I'm going over this one. I think that the lines come down. That's where I want it. Now, if that thing busts up to 175, get watched. But I think they're waiting on tonight's result, like you said, because if Atlanta was to get upset by Connecticut tonight, hey, maybe Asia's still playing for that MVP. Like Justin said, 11 points last night was really not a good showing for her, and she's flipped and become the favorite. So I think Asia's still playing for the MVP, but honestly, I would like to see the Aces lose a game before the playoffs. That's a hell of a run, man, and that's hard to maintain.
That's a great point, Ron, because a lot of people have talked about not only the 15-game winning streak and how they, but also the 30 wins would be a franchise record as well. So they're kind of they are playing with a little motivation there because they've been so strong. They only have to win the game, right? I mean, to keep those things going, even if you're talking about they could lose. And yeah, they could lose actually the way the Sparks have been playing down the stretch, even though we know the Sparks have nothing to play for now. Look, the Sparks improved this season over last season here. Really one of the more improved teams in the league record-wise, even though they fell short there because last season was pretty dismal. So I'm taking Los Angeles in the first half here in this one, plus the points, probably getting 6 points or 6.5 here in this one. Justin and I going to kind of ride with the Sparks at home. Justin said take them plus 11. Ron says go over 168.5. Guys, that's it on the regular season. Congratulations on making it through on the 2-3 zone. Terrific job, but I need your help here over the next couple of weeks. We got the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals with that best of 3 format, best of 5 format, best of 7 format. I think that fits just fine in the WNBA. We don't need a bunch of 7-game series like the men right now. They'll probably do it to us in the end, Ron. In a few years, they'll be playing all 7-game series or something. But now with a 44-game season, I think this is the way to go. Thank you very much, Ron, for job.
Great season, guys.
And Justin Stacks McKelvey as well. Thank you very much. Great handicapping from you guys, and we're going to still do it again. Ron, what's going on here at Tony's Picks?
Well, hopefully, like I said, during the playoffs, we're going to get a few more cappers in here. If you saw last year, myself and Rod were just nailing all those playoff games. So hopefully get a few more cappers in for the WNBA during the playoffs. Love to see that. it's become very popular, and you guys have made it that way, and we do appreciate every comment, positive and negative. Just be respectful. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. So, I'm ready for the playoffs. And don't forget, this is Sunday, so we got NFL Sundays. So don't forget, there is some WNBA. I saw ESPN already promoting. Hey, we got all the games on ESPN Family Network. So if I can mention that on here, I will. But it's going to be all on the network. You don't have to look at Ion or League Pass or anything like that. You're going to get all the games starting on Sunday. We are excited. It's going to be a great thing. Can the Liberty find it in their guts to come back and defend that championship? Or is it Minnesota's turn finally? Or are the Aces back on the scene? We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything about the dream or the sleepers, I think. And we'll see what happens there. But I'm going to give it to those top 4 teams. I know I got a future on Phoenix, but those are my top 4. One of them's going to win it.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll make fun of the WNBA on Sunday for Justin for wanting to go up against the NFL. But thank you again for your great capping. What's going on for you this week at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, I'm glad he said the dream loud. I was just going to give him a hard time. Like, why you ain't mention the dream? Like, we here. Like,
Sleeper.
Yeah.
But you look at also, and all that, but kind of the thing where, hey, we know that the teams that have been winning the title, right, of late. I mean, it's been the Aces, right, and the Liberty there, and those different teams. So we're really waiting for the dream to kind of break through. I think is what the thought is on that.
We coming. But yeah, we finally get a couple days off. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to it. Give me more time once tomorrow's up. Well, these games that were capped, once they're over with, it give me a head start to dig into the playoffs, the first round, how much I want to take into the Liberty and the Mercury series, because for travel, like, that's gonna be a long travel. Like, especially if you're talking about 1-1-1. Like, you talking about New York to Arizona, back and forth. So you got to take that in consideration, in my opinion, as far as like totals, like maybe low pace game. So I can't wait for the playoffs. I can't wait to see my dream. I don't understand why the WNBA went against football. Me personally, unless the Falcons is on TV, I'll be watching WNBA. So, but I think it's horrible. They should have moved it to Monday. Like, go up against baseball on Monday Night Football. Why go against a full slate? I mean, you're not gonna get the views like you should. But I'm not the commissioner, so I ain't got a play in it. And as always, I'm gonna have a premium in WNBA. I'm gonna have a triple stacks and premium and baseball, college football premium. Everything gonna be fully loaded, like Ron said. Might be calling back up for the playoffs for this 2-3 zone. So stick with us. So, you get an extra opinion or two as far as the playoffs, get an extra, everybody caps different. Everybody caps props, total size, everything different. So we might call back up and appreciate all the comments, even the respectful, the disrespectful ones. I really don't mind too much. So I thank y'all for the comments. Thank y'all for the futures that y'all asked when I asked y'all for. So I just want to thank y'all for everything. I look forward to the playoffs.
Great job, Justin. Thank you again. Thank you to Ron, and I'll have my picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm not saying that sometimes the games are easier when you get to this scenario. I'm talking about tomorrow's little 4-pack of games, and teams some have motivation and some have not, but I'm going to have premiums tomorrow for sure. So check me out tonight for sure. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. We're ready for a big football weekend, of course. So head on over to Tony's Picks and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all those premium pick packages from Justin, from Ron, and myself. So check us out over at Tony's Picks. Also, like this video, subscribe to our channel. There's no better time as we get ready. It'll come quick. Before you know it, the WNBA playoffs will be over and the 2-3 zone will be over. So let's roll here into the postseason and pick these winners in the WNBA. And I might even pin these guys down. I know they gave us a group full of games, but I might need them to give me one team before the playoffs start. I'll hit them up then. All right, that's going to do it here for the 2-3 Zone regular season edition. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you for your comments and your viewership. But don't forget, we'll be here for a couple more weeks for sure with more WNBA betting action. For Ron Crawford, for Justin Stacks McKelvey, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us on the 2-3 Zone.
And we all say good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
Appreciate y'all.